Make us aware of the deeper significance of our meeting as we develop our friendships as the source of Rotary service, a service that we pray will radiate in this community and throughout the world. And Lord, we ask a special blessing on the family of fellow Rotarians, Bob Latimer. Strengthen them during their time of sorrow. Thank you, Almighty God. Amen.
Thank you, Marcia. And now our visitation report from Joe Massey.
I can't negotiate the screens to see if she's still with us, but Linda Nimmersheim, a potential member, has joined in this week. Linda worked with me at the court, was very instrumental in a lot of the work we had with volunteers. Linda, I hope you'll stay on board this today, and you should be getting an application in the mail today, if not tomorrow. And I've asked the membership to open their arms to Linda. She'll be a great attribute if she decides to join. I don't know personally of anyone else that was in need of our care and attention, but I'll open it up to the floor. If anyone knows of someone who may be ill or in need of our support, please let us know now.
Okay, I don't hear any. I will tell you, Joe, that Linda is on and visiting our meeting today.
Great, great.
Yeah, awesome. Introduction of guests, Sigger. No, okay. I think the only guest that I see from looking over.
I didn't realize I was doing introduction of guests, so I have no clue.
Okay, so sorry about that. Obviously, we have our district governor, Judy Cockrell, joining us. Welcome, Judy. We have Linda Nimmersheim, a potential Rotarian, and we have Pat Edwards, the lieutenant governor for District 7600, joining us also. If there's anyone else out there who knows of a guest who's with us, I'm just flipping through the pages right now. I don't see any, but
I saw that the other Lieutenant Governor, Ron Lynn, is on. So we have two Lieutenant Governors on.
Okay, well, welcome, Ron. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Norfolk.
Thank you.
Okay, our school of the week this week is Ruffner Academy. Our rotation scribe will be Diana Starkey. And if it's, I'm going to call on Sigger and Judy. We have a Paul Harris Fellow designation to award. And Sigger, if you can take it from here.
I am delighted to do that. Judy, would you like to take over?
We can certainly do it together. Sigger, you start and then I'll add. How's that?
The award is for John Searing, who is now a Paul Harris Fellow +5. I think I'm really impressed by this because not only is John very much a supporter of the Rotary Foundation, but he also has his own personal foundation which supports people living with cancer. So, you know, to me, his dedication to Rotary is even extra special. Judy?
Yes, and I just want to say thank you so much for being such a good supporter of the Rotary Foundation. That's quite an honor, and you've helped so many people all over the world and here in our community by your contributions, and also for your contributions and your hard work to your own personal foundation. So we thank you, and Rotary 7600 thanks you.
Thank you. I'm happy to support Rotary.
Thank you, John. And now I'm going to call on Walt to give us an update on two upcoming service projects that we have.
So good morning. The first service project we have is going to the food bank on Saturday, and that is from 10 to 1. And because they're not allowing people to register for that event like we used to do, and walk in the door and register, and then you went out and did your task, they're asking us to register beforehand. And I've included the link to that in the event log. So if you just go back to the event within Club Runner, you'll be able to see that. Click on the link and just ask you a couple of questions. If you've already volunteered at the food bank before, I just need your name. So if you just register in Club Runner as part of our website, I'll take your name from there and just pass it in. For those that haven't registered, actually have to go on the Club Runner, click on the link and register for the food bank. The second event is Cleaning Up Norfolk. We're scheduled to go in, and I don't have my calendar in front of me, but it's in 10 days, that Thursday, starting at 8:30, going until about 11:30. They capped the membership, or our membership, at 10 to be able to do that. They're going to supply the bags and gloves and pickup sticks. I think we have, as of this morning, we had 6 members signed up to do that. So if anybody else would like to join us, please go on to the registration and just register for this as well. And right now we had 7 to go to the food bank on Saturday. So those are the 2 events that are coming up in the near future.
Thanks, Walt. And I can't emphasize enough in the current environment how important it is to utilize our website for signing up for these types of events. And also, I would say that for those of us who are looking for opportunities to get together and see each other, these are 2 good opportunities to do so. And I will let you know that from personal experience, the food bank does a very good job of keeping things safe. So I know earlier in the year, earlier in the summer, we had several club members volunteering there, and my wife and I have gone there on our own a few times, and they do a very good job of keeping things safe. So, who's got some good news?
Jim, I just wanted to mention that the last time that we did something like this, Bob Latimer was out there.
I mean, in terms for the cleanup?
Yeah.
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 Thanks for sharing that. Who has some good news to share?
I do.
Jeff Wells.
My mom turned 90, and we had a Rotary mask on her at the party celebrating. That was courtesy of our club, and she was very excited about that. But the big news is my son had a daughter this morning at 5:30 this morning. So the Wells family has a 90-year-old and a 1-day-old.
Awesome.
That's great stuff. So I'm very happy to share that.
Congratulations. Who else has some good news to share? And feel free to shout out if I can't find you before you want to yell.
Well, Jim, let me make an observation about the good news. Having one 90 years old and one day old. Isn't that hope meeting wisdom?
It sounds like it to me.
That's great news.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Eleanor.
Yes, this morning, Hanu and I had the opportunity to speak with Ross Wood about his work in Ethiopia and how he may be able to help us make some connections for our Ethiopian project. So that was great, and I'll give you $5 for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Who else?
I'll add $10, 10 more to her gift.
Thanks, Baranu. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I don't know whether it's good news or bad, but today I'm 79, starting on 80. So the check will be in the mail.
Thank you, Chuck. Enjoy your next lap around the sun. Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you very much. Our Vice President in charge of programs is Lori Harrison. And Lori, you have the stage.
Okay, sorry. I am going to introduce Seeger, who is our Rotarian of the day. Seeger joined Rotary Club of Norfolk in 1999, so she's been a member for about 21 years. She loves everything about Rotary, including fellow club members, the speakers, our volunteer work, and the socials. And her fun fact is pretty cool. She saw the Beatles on their first USA visit at the Indiana State Fair. So there you go. Seeger, you can introduce Judy.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to introduce District Governor Judy. She is familiar to many, many of us. She joined Rotary a long, long time ago, longer than I did. She started in 1994. She served president of her club, which is Cape Henry, not once, but twice. She has also been area governor, not once, but twice. She has stepped up to the plate and been the chair of the district assembly, I think a couple of times, and having done it once myself, I take my hat off to her. It's a huge undertaking. She's participated in 2 district fellowship exchanges, one in England and the other to Germany. She also, like John Searing, supports the Rotary Foundation. She is a major donor as well as being a Paul Harris Fellow +8. She has received the International Avenues of Service Award in 2006. She was born in Portsmouth, but she left our fair part of the country to move to Virginia, or not to Virginia, to Alabama for high school and college. She attended Auburn, where she graduated with honors. She taught school for a number of years, and then she moved back to Virginia, where she spent 7 years in pharmaceutical sales, calling on physicians in hospitals in the Tidewater area. Her parents happened to be realtors, and so she decided to use her sales abilities in real estate. She's been a broker for over 30 years and served also as a managing broker. She has an executive MBA from the College of William and Mary. I think those of you who know Judy or who follow her on Facebook know a couple of things. A, she's a fabulous cook, which is one of her hobbies. And she's also a wonderful party giver. So I know that our district conference, which is coming up in early November, is going to be the cat's meow. She also enjoys reading and traveling and spending time with her family. She has 2 daughters, both of whom are Paul Harris Fellows, and also her Bichon Louis Vuitton. So welcome, Judy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Seeger. And I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. We need to allow me to
Okay,
share.
hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Okay, you should be able to share.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we got it.
All righty, here we go.
Yeah.
Very good. All righty, so happy new Rotary year. In July of every year, we have a new Rotary year and a new Rotary president. Our president is President Holger Knack from Germany. And our theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities. And here is Holger in the middle with his wife, Susan. On to his left is Barry Rassin and his wife, Esther. They were, he was president 2 years ago and was Be the Inspiration. And then on the right, we have Mark Maloney and his wife, Gay. And Mark was president last year, and it was Rotary Connects the World. And that was really pretty prophetic because Rotary did connect the world, and Mark and his wife, President Mark and his wife, connected in person for the first part of the year. And then about mid-March, it all came to a halt, and all of a sudden, we were all on Zoom. We were just Zooming away. And Rotary did have a couple of things that helped connect the world. And that was, we had an international convention on Facebook Live, and that was in June and July. And we also had a fundraiser in June that was a 1 hour long fundraiser that raised $500,000 for COVID, with people all over the world, both entertaining and contributing. So in mid-March, you know, we're Zooming, and then all of a sudden there's a lot of Zoom jokes and pandemic jokes. And first one is this little guy is in a Zoom meeting with audio only, and he looks pretty rough. And then, of course, for his Zoom meeting with video, he is totally spiffed up. And then in mid-March, this little joke came out. The first word you see is where you are going in April, and it's nowhere. And of course, everybody knows how efficient Chick-fil-A is and how sort of inefficient our testing system has been. So somebody said the whole country would be tested by midnight if Chick-fil-A was running the drive-through testing centers. And then somebody did this little Zoom call bingo, because on every Zoom call you hear a few of these same things like, "You're on mute. Can you hear me now? Oh, there's your cat." So Holger Connect, Rotary Opens Opportunities. Here are Holger and Susan, and they are at home in Germany. And Holger came up to be president in a different way than a lot of the other presidents have been. Usually there are a lot of rules. You have to do this, you have to do that. He and Susan have really been very interested in the youth. And they worked with the Youth Exchange Program, and they were very big in that. And so that is one of the things that President Holger thinks is very important, and that is Rotaract and Interact. I spent some time with Holger and Susan, President Holger and Susan, on several different occasions. And the first was a week in November in Atlanta at GETS. And GETS is governor-elect training. And Rotary is pretty serious about their governor-elect training. We started training 2.5 years ago. And at that time, and these are the people in the pink shirts are the 31 district governors of Zone 33 and 34, and we trained together. So we started 2.5 years ago, and when that happened, Barry Rassin, whom I showed you a picture of earlier, was president, and he was from Nassau. And our Zone 33, 34 goes all down the East Coast, Florida, and the islands. And so for some reason, we became the flamingos, because the national bird of Nassau was the flamingo. So I think that's why we became the flamingos. So anyway, we got pink shirts. We have these horrible flashing pink pins, flamingo pins, which I don't wear very often. And here we are with Holger at the training. And we were very lucky because he and Susan spent the entire week with our 2 zones training, which is highly unusual. A lot of times if a president-elect comes to something like that, you know, he comes, stays a day or 2 and leaves. So it was pretty cool. Here's President Holger with the flamingos. The last day in Atlanta, we had some inflatable flamingos that were looking kind of bad by this time. So here are some of our flamingo governors, and this was during their Carolina Pets. And they actually had these doors that they built, and it was a great photo opportunity. So, but I've got good news for you guys. If you come to the district conference, which Sigrid alluded to is going to be very good, and she's actually helping with it, we're going to have some doors like this because Charles Hall and my club is building these doors. So if you come to the district conference, you will have the opportunity to have a door picture. Here is some flamingos at work. They're getting ready to jump on Zoom calls. And this flamingo, Spencer, has gotten blocked. And here's another flamingo that has really gotten blocked. And this is Kirk from the Atlanta area, and he's got on the traditional man Zoom outfit, which is business on the top, party on the bottom, and he has thrown in a flamingo float for good measure. The second time I got to spend some time with Holger and his wife Susan was in San Diego in January. And every January, Rotary has what they call the International Assembly. And it's where every district governor-elect at the time goes, and it's been San Diego for a number of years. It's going to change to Orlando next year. There were 532 of us from all over the world that are now district governors. And a lot of people had their spouses and partners with them. There were a lot of top Rotary leaders. There were a lot of Rotary trainers. We had 1,200 people at the event. And you can see this hotel was quite large. It had 2 towers, and then between the 2 towers was the conference area and the place we had the programs and everything. So it opened on January 19th with a reception and dinner, and then on January 20th, Monday morning, Holger came out to announce the theme. And this is always met with a lot of cheering and all of that. People look forward to the theme. People are texting the theme as soon as they hear it back to people in their district so they can be the first one to say it. You know, they're putting it on Facebook. And you can see everybody has got their cell phones up taking President Holger's picture. And Holger said, Rotary is not just a club that you join. It's an invitation to endless opportunities. It opens opportunities to serve in a project as big and historic as End Polio Now, and also in a small community project where you just plant a tree. Everything we do opens another opportunity for someone somewhere. And this is a pretty cool statement when you think about it, because as Rotarians, we do good in the world. We don't really know all the people that we affect, but we affect a lot of people in a very positive way. It's like that movie, It's a Wonderful Life, where George thinks his life is so insignificant and he's ready to like jump off the bridge. And Clarence makes him see that he has changed people's lives for the better. And that's what we do as Rotarians when we do good in the world. So here is a photo op with President Holger and Susan. And President Holger asked us as DGs to bring 4 messages to the club. And I've heard him say this speech about 3 times, so I know he's serious about the 4 things. And the first thing he says is the district will be actively at work creating new, innovative club models and will need your support. In addition, you can help us expand our reach by creating a satellite club or community-based Rotaract club. And we have a new addition to our leadership team and our membership team, and this is the Innovative Club Advocate Team. And these people, headed by Alex Ritchie and Sue Carter, and Kenny James, and Neva Lynn, and Diane Gordon, are going to help you if you would like to do an innovative new club. And their goal, and our goal for the district, is to start 5 new clubs in the district. And they're saying, you know, do you know anybody who's left Rotary? Do you know someone that would make a good Rotarian but can't make the traditional meeting times? Contact Alex Ritchie. There's her email, Alex Ritchie at mymail.vcu.edu, and they will help you. Second message, every club should host at least 1 strategic planning meeting each year in which you ask, what will my club be like in 5 years? What steps should we take to get that vision? What value do we bring our members? And select someone to lead that effort. And here are all the president-elects in January at Pre-Pets, plus all the district leadership team. We talked about the strategic plan. We broke it into the 4 areas, and we talked about how we could implement it in the club levels. We had some good ideas. Third message, select new members carefully. Make sure they fit your club and your club fits them. Engage them and take care of them. And then what Holger said is there's no wrong age to become a Rotarian. And he says that one reason we lose members is clubs don't meet their expectations. So here is a picture of people, club members that are engaged, and they're working on a polio plus finger painting, purple pinky. Fourth message, continue your club's efforts to end polio by donating to End Polio Now and by hosting a World Polio Day event in October. And then he said, we must fulfill the promise we made to the children of the world. And this is one of the children in the world. And the reason the Purple Pinky got started is because they paint the child's pinky purple when they've been immunized. At the International Assembly, in addition to Holger and Susan and other top Rotary officials, we had 2 directors from Zone 3334 and 1 incoming director. Pictured here is outgoing Rotary Vice President and Director David Stovall and his wife, Kim Waters. And on the second picture on the right, David is wearing the man's traditional installation Zoom outfit, a little different than just the regular Zoom call, in which tuxedo top and let's go cut the grass bottom. And then with him is his dog, my man Max, who is a therapy dog. Here we have Director Peter Kyle and his wife Margaret. Then we have Director Stephanie Urchik. She's one really sharp lady. She was in charge of the strategic plan, and you know, for 116 years, I mentioned this at the board meeting, Rotary didn't change much at all. We had rules and we followed the rules, and they didn't change a lot. And then all of a sudden, Rotary said, hey, we've got to grow, we've got to change, we've got to, or we're going to be eliminated. And so they did a big research study, and they asked people, they asked all sorts of people, young people, old people, Rotarians, non-Rotarians, what kind of club would you like to join? What kind of club would you not like to join? A lot of questions, and came up with the strategic plan. And the first thing they did was do a vision statement. And this vision statement is beautiful. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Beautiful statement. And the strategic plan has 4 priorities and objectives. First is increase our impact. And one of those is eradicate polio, focus on our programs, improve our ability to achieve and measure impact. Here we've got End Polio Now. Expand our reach, grow and diversify our membership and participation, create new channels into Rotary, increase Rotary's openness and appeal, build awareness of our impact and brand. And here we have true diversity, and this was at the International Assembly. We, as I told you, we had DGs, they were DGEs at the time, from all over the world, and we had like 2 big sessions with everybody a day, and then 2 small groups where they divided us randomly into groups. And this is, as you can see, people from all over the world, true diversity. Here we have new channels into Rotary. Here we have impact and brand, and that's our People of Action campaign. Enhance participant engagement, support clubs to better engage their members, develop a participant-centered approach, offer new opportunities for personal and professional connection, provide leadership development and skills training. And here, this is professional development, and I think also leadership training, because at the time I was area governor, Kathy beside me was president, incoming president. Diane Hageman was installing Kathy, and she was past district governor. Lori was public relations, and now she's president. So a lot of development of leaders, also women in Rotary. And here is a chance for you, if you have not taken RLI, Rotary Leadership Institute. District 7600 is on the forefront in offering a virtual class. This is a part 1, very low priced. The fee is $25, includes the course materials, normally $95. You need to register by October 1st, and it will be 3 hours on Saturday, October 10th, and 3 hours on the 11th. It is a part 1 for RLI. So this is a first. We haven't ever done this before. We did have one part 3 in March where 5 of, and I was one of the people, 5 of us graduated from RLI on Zoom. So we hope that that this will be something that people will be real interested in doing. Increase our ability to adapt, and we've really done this. Rotary has really done this year. We totally changed our district grant program when the COVID came out, to allow more flexibility and to allow, you know, us to use the funds sooner, to help people sooner. And we've done all sorts of things that have been different. So Rotary isn't canceled, it's just different. And there's Brander Mill on the left doing social distancing, outdoor installation, everybody Zooming. On the right, we see James City County satellite. There's my friend Harry, who's a DG in Maryland. They were having a hybrid installation of district officers. And again, Harry has on the very now famous men's Zoom outfit. And on the right is River City doing a socially distanced picnic. And here is something that's really different. People have been asking for a long time, when are we going to have the first woman president of Rotary? And this just happened about a week ago. Jennifer Jones from Canada makes history, becomes the first woman named Rotary president nominee. She will be president 2022 to 2023. Very, very, very sharp lady. She was the moderator for the International Assembly. She was also one of the moderators for the pandemic telethon that I told you about. There were several of them there. So a lot of us are very happy about this. Rotary was founded in 1905. A lot has changed, but our core values have remained the same. Those are fellowship, and obviously this was before the pandemic. Leadership. This is my grandson Tanner, and it was a couple of years ago when he was in middle school. He's in high school now, and he was an interactor, and he won Interactor of the Year. So I was really, really proud of him, and he's getting his leadership start early. Integrity, the 4-way test. Diversity, all the people of the world in Rotary. Service. The best way to find yourself is lose yourself in the service of others. Service above self. On the left, we see Hampton Roads adopt a highway. They're doing that during the pandemic. They've got their mask on. On the right, we have some other Rotarians giving out food and supplies during the COVID. We talked about this a little bit in the board meeting. Rotary has traditionally had 6 areas of focus, and any of us who have worked on district grants know these. They're very important. Rotarians have been clamoring for a 7th one, and that is the environment. And that will be available July 1st, 2021 for grant funding. And another way that Rotary is increasing their ability to adapt. And so now here we have 7 areas of focus, and I thought this was a pretty cool graphic. So we talked a little bit earlier, Sigur mentioned it and I mentioned it about the district conference, and it is going to be at the beautiful new Oceanfront Marriott in Virginia Beach. And we have been talking to them for 2.5 years, and they were in the process of building it. And we went on a couple of hard hat tours. That was an actual picture where I did have an actual hard hat on. And it's going to be the first weekend in November at the Oceanfront Marriott, which is affiliated with the historic Cavalier, right across the street from it. So we're going to be able to have some special events at the Cavalier. Here is the hotel. It's fabulous. We have room rates, this is so spectacular, of $129 a night. A Rotarian from Richmond told me a couple weeks ago that he had been there the weekend before and the rates were starting at $400, but we get them for $129. Here's a picture that was in the newspaper. PDG Jane Sullivan and I went and visited and ate lunch at the restaurant downstairs, Toulouse. This is the lobby. This is the restaurant, Toulouse. Here's the restaurant. We felt very safe. Everybody had masks. We're socially distanced. We sat, you can see there are tables in between. You can see the beach. There's outside seating also. There are 3 restaurants in the building. Pretty fabulous place. Here is a flyer that Lori Absher did on the district conference. And you can see that it's a quite beautiful facility. So in closing, this is the Rotary flag of opportunity. Rotary opens opportunities. Rotarians give back. Rotarians are kind and they practice kindness to others. Rotarians live by the 4-way test. And also number 5, will it be fun? And these guys look like they're having a good time. So from my family to your family, and this is my oldest daughter, Annalie, sitting up front, not driving while taking the selfie. And I was in the back a number of years ago with the 2 grandchildren, and they are being goofy as kids will be. And here is my youngest daughter, Liz, and her husband, and their new little puppy, Cilantro. I'm going to meet Cilantro today when I take Louis by to, Louis is going to stay with them while I do some visits. And then here is Louis, who is joining Rotary as a Rotary mascot. So, as Rotarians, together we connect. And this is our People of Action campaign, but together we connect. That concludes my presentation. And if you've got any questions or comments, I'm open.
Any questions?
I'll ask a quick question just because I imagine it's on other people's minds. This is Marty Race. Hopefully there's not going to be a problem with being able to have the meeting in November, but what's your plan B if you can't?
Well, it's going to be partially virtual. And so if you don't want to go, you can go virtually. Our plan B, by the time COVID hit, you know, we signed this contract a long time ago. And for us to just say we're not going to have it in March, it would have cost an enormous amount of money. And so if something happens in the state or something that that we are forced to close, then we would be able to get out of the contract, you know. So there's a lot of factors put into it. We sent out a survey monkey to the president-elects and presidents and district leadership and past district governors, and 67% of them thought that we should have it. But like I said, we don't encourage anybody to come who doesn't feel safe. some people are ready to get out and go somewhere. Also, the hotel is very safe and it's going to be, we're going to be practicing, all the CDC guidelines. And, it's a big dilemma. It's not an easy answer. Anybody
Any other
else?
questions?
Judy, I've had a question for years, and you may or may not know the answer. Does the Rotary International president select the theme, or is it something that is more handled by the administration in Chicago? How does that work? Do you know?
Well, I think the president does select the theme, but I think that he certainly has a group of people, helping him. I would certainly think. But that they always say that the president chooses the theme. But I mean, I think they think about it and think about where we are in Rotary and how it's affected. And it's really interesting because, like last year, Rotary Connects the World. That was pretty prophetic. This year, Rotary Opens Opportunities. A lot of different opportunities this year, right?
Absolutely.
Judy, what are the plans for the international conference, Rotary International Conference next year? Are they worried about it, or what have you heard about that? I'm asking for Michael.
It's at in Taipei, and we have not heard anything about, as far as we're concerned now, it's on, but who knows? So I think that's going to depend on the state of the world.
Judy, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm wondering how COVID is impacting on polio immunizations, and what has Big Rotary said about that?
Okay, actually, one of the things that's been good about the pandemic, we have to look for a silver lining sometimes, is that we've had a lot of really big Zoom calls for Zone 33 and 34. We actually had like one a week, there were two every week, but it was a repeat from March until the end of June. And we had all these people from all over the world that were top speakers in just about every subject. And I listened to several on polio. And it's interesting because Rotary is not going to drop polio because we made a promise that we were going to fulfill it. And, like I said, we made a promise to the children of the world that we were going to end polio. So we're not going to drop polio. And I know that's important to you also. And as some people have said, polio is really only a plane ride away. We've got to get rid of it altogether. As far as COVID is concerned, the polio infrastructure has been in place and has helped with some of the detection and testing and that sort of thing with COVID all over the world. It has, some of the efforts have been halted in certain countries because we have not been able to immunize. But the COVID infrastructure has really helped, with, or the polio infrastructure has really helped in some efforts with COVID. And there are a lot of experts that can explain this a whole lot better than I can, but apparently it was being used. Did I answer?
Yes, thank you.
Question.
Eleanor?
Is there an impact on the global grant program from the COVID? Will there, has there been any impact, I guess, on applications?
Well, it's really been a positive impact, I think. We decided that the primary emphasis of district grants this year, because of the immediate need, was to be on people that were affected in some way by COVID. So, and we also, you know, the Rotary changed it so that people could get the money before, it had to be kind of approved, but before the end of before the beginning of this new year, so that the money could go to work sooner. We gave away more money this year, and we also had a higher percentage of clubs participate. Now, one of the reasons we gave away more money this year is because when John Padgett was district governor, he had a very, very strong foundation giving year, as you guys know. And 3 years later, those proceeds come back. So we had more money to give away. We had $2,800,000 to give away. So it really, people were really, really participating in the grants. Did that answer your question?
Do you anticipate this having a negative impact on international programs? Like, we're looking at something in Ethiopia. We're still working on it.
I don't think so, because I mean, that's a separate batch of money.
Okay.
You know, your global grants.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So no, I would continue to work, you know, on that. And I mean, Rotary is always going to have international and local, but it never have we had such a, well, not within any time, not in our lifetime have we had such a massive thing right here.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy, I have one more question, if
Sure.
I may.
Yeah.
I had gotten an email from the new president of Rotary talking about how he is enjoying virtually attending Rotary meetings. And I know we find out about how to sign on to be part of our club's meeting because Jim sends us an email. But how is there a district list of Zoom sign-on possibilities so we could virtually attend another club meeting in our district or elsewhere? Do you know?
You know, that's a good suggestion. I think that some people put it on DACDB, and so that might be a good suggestion for clubs to put their virtual meetings on DACDB. I'm making a note. I think that they are changing it to make it easier. They just made some changes, or just are going to make some changes to DACDB, where you can, you know, put meetings at different times and all that sort of stuff, you know. So that would be that would be a good thing to suggest, and so I'll look into suggesting that.
I know that Jim is recording our meeting, and perhaps we could also attend just by, you know, watching a recording of other clubs meetings too.
And you know, there is the District 7600 has a YouTube station. Some of the clubs have a YouTube station, but you can post them there, and that's a good place to start. But yeah, you can go search, you know, YouTube and Rotary and find all sorts of stuff.
Just so everyone knows, due to my technological ignorance, we have 2 YouTube stations that we're trying to combine to make one, and we have been uploading the recordings of the meetings. But once it is suitable for public consumption, we will let you all know where that is.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Judy, we've got right now, if you go into DACDB, for example, the Prince George's County Club has got an advertisement up there right now for their speaker and a picture of their speaker, and you just send them an email and they will send you an invite right now.
Yeah, and I think that some other clubs, you know, list their speakers in there too, and so you could probably do that. I know Fluvanna has really interesting Zoom meetings with all their city officials. I've been to theirs a couple of times. So we'll talk about, I'm actually having a meeting with the AGs this week, and Pat Edwards is head of the AGs, and we can talk about, talking about the AGs, putting that information, on DAC-DB.
Judy, our club does not use DAC-DB, so can you give a very brief thing to the club so that they understand that DAC-DB is similar to our Club Runner, our website, and how you sign on to it in particular?
Okay. So you're on DAC-DB, aren't you? Your club? Can't hear you.
We use Club Runner.
Oh, you use Club Runner. Okay.
We're one of those.
We have access. We all have access to it.
Yeah.
You
we
all
do
have access to DAC-DB.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good. I am not a technical expert. You get into DAC-DB by your, I think it's your member number is your password. Who knows the answer to this? Anybody? I've been in it so long that somebody changed mine, so it's real easy to get into.
You know what? I'll put together something for our club, and we'll put it out, because a step-by-step thing.
Thank you. I've been doing it so long, and somebody way back, a friend of mine, changed mine, so I've got this real easy access into getting into it. So the first time you do it, it's a little hard.
Any other questions for Judy? All right then. Well, Judy, I want to thank you for joining us. It was a wonderful wonderful presentation on what's going on at district and higher levels. As is our tradition, because our club cares very much about literacy, in honor of you presenting to us today and joining us today, we're going to be donating a book in your honor to Ruffner Academy, our School of the Week.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of literacy also. In fact, somewhere years ago in my career, I was a reading resource teacher. So
oh, wonderful.
I'm into literacy.
And we welcome you to come back anytime you want.
Thank you.
We'd love to have you. And if there's anything that our club can do for district, feel free to let us know. But we really appreciate your time.
And in return, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know, because we're all in this together, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you, members and guests, fellow Rotarians, for joining. Again, we appreciate District Governor Judy's presence. Our next meeting will be September 1st. We have next week off. I will remind you that we do have the 2 service projects coming up. There are some limits to how many can go to the food bank, but the cleanup in Lafayette Park is unlimited, and it would be great to see a lot of folks at those. So September 1st is our next meeting, and our guest speaker will be Lynn Abania. Hope I said that correctly, and she's coming to us from Physicians for Peace in the Philippines. So thank you for your attendance. Have a great week, and we are adjourned. Thank you.